What's up, everybody? I am here with Trey Jones. If you clicked on this, chances are you read the headline and already know the bad news. Trey, floor is yours. Give us the update on what's going on.
Well, Swampfest 2020 is canceled. Obviously. It sucks because it's just been such a internal battle with just me, like trying to figure out what actually to do. And I'll just kind of lay it all out there just so everybody knows what's going on. Pretty much I went out to the Swampfest site not too long ago, and they were doing a full-on motocross race. State of Florida has no legal laws against doing outdoor events. Disney World and Universal Studios is fully allowed to have people coming in at like 25% capacity or something like that. So I was kind of thinking, I'm like, all right, well, I can do this. If I can legally do it, then why couldn't I do it? And then I started thinking more about it, and I'm like watching videos from last year, and I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I see everybody all packed together, and I'm like, I know legally I can do it, and the option is I can do it, but is that the right thing to do? Like, I don't think it's the right thing to do, especially Florida being labeled a hotspot for coronavirus and stuff like that. And I was just like, my gut just kept telling me no, and I just had to listen to my gut and just be like, no, man, like that can't happen. You know what I mean? And it sucks because whenever I did the date change back in April, like October was an infinite amount of time away, where it was like, there's no way this would still be going on. And still, it's still 3 months away, but it's like, as we're all learning, like, it's probably not going to go away. Like, whether you want to believe it or not, you don't know. And I can't afford to have people show up from all over the world or the country or whatever it may be at that point in time, and the event gets shut down. And it's just too risky. And it's not the smart thing to do. And I have to be like a smart person about this and just be like, nope, we can't do it. You know what I mean? And it sucks because it's like, we made the Vans shoes, and I made all the flyer and merch with the shirts and like all these things. And like, I'm coming out with new shirts that have the date on them. And I'm just like, what do I do? Like, it's just completely out of my control, and it sucks. And there's not like a handbook on like, oh, well, if coronavirus and you're doing an event, it says right here that you just cancel it. It's just, you're having to figure it out, and I'm just bouncing ideas off people on like what to do. And it just seems like the best option is to put the event off and just do it next year. And that's it. You know what I mean? And wait till next year, because it's like, if I push the event back to like December or let's say, or whatever, then it's like, there'll only be 3 months until the next Swampfest. Like, then that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I do an event in December and then do the next one in April? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, there's too many cons that outweigh the pros, and I just gotta take a loss and move on. And there's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? And it's luckily that I just want everybody to understand how complicated the situation is and how terrible I feel about it. Because there's nothing. I went out there and I poured my heart and soul and built a whole entire course and had to tear the whole thing down. You know what I mean? Like, it sucked, man. Like, and it's just the whole mystery of the whole thing. And it just really, really, really has sucked. And at the end of the day, I just want to do what's right for not just BMX or like the community, but just for the whole world. And it's just not meant to be right now. And it is what it is, you know?
You had a lot of core BMX brands that hopped on board to support Swampfest, as you have in years past, but this year kind of seemed like it was going to be the biggest one. How did those brands take the news when you let them know that, this isn't happening?
I mean, it wasn't easy. Like, like I said, it sucked. And like, obviously riding for Shadow and Sabrosa, like, I talked to Ronnie and Ryan all the time, and I was just like, guys, I don't know what to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to do. And I called Robbie at Colt and Creasy at the Source, and like just all the brands that really sponsor the event, and like they were like, yeah, man, we get it. Like, this is hard. Like, it's not an easy decision to make. Like, and I'm just stoked that they got my back, and that without them the event doesn't happen. You know what I mean? And like, I'm grateful that those brands step up and like and help me when I need it. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate that. And just like it proves what brands are like really give a shit about BMX. You know what I mean? And like they they're like, I got your back. We got your back, man. Like, don't worry about it. Like, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? And they're willing to work with me and figure out to where we're all happy, because that's the thing, is that it's like, yeah, it sucks for me, but it shouldn't suck for them. Like, it shouldn't suck for them because my event got canceled. Like, I want to compromise to where we're all, yeah, we all might take a loss, but like we're all getting something out of it and we're all moving forward to like make the future better. You know what I mean? Because I'm not here to mess anybody over, man. Like, I'm trying to do the best thing for everybody, not just myself, but for everybody and everything. And it's, like I said, there's no handbook on what to do when a world catastrophe or whatever breaks out. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're all learning that everybody's just trying to figure out how to handle things, so.
Well, personally, on my end, I've had everything I was supposed to attend, from weddings to BMX events, that have gotten canceled kind of at the last minute. So it seems kind of par for the course. And it also seems like it would be irresponsible on your end to expect BMX riders from around the world to fly in when the plug could get pulled at any minute of no reasoning of your own,
Yeah,
so,
and that's the thing, is that it's like it's 3 months till the event, but if somebody's planning a trip to Swampfest, I gotta make the decision now. Like, they need to know that, like, I'm either pushing, yeah, we're doing the event, book your tickets, let's go, or, hey, we're not doing it, save your money till next year. You know what I mean? Like, I have to make that decision because people have plans to make. They got to take off work or they got to do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, people can't just at 2 weeks notice be like, oh, Trey's doing Swampfest, let's go. Like, I need to give people time, and I just want to be clear with everybody. I want everybody to understand, like, that, like, I'm trying to figure this out. You know what I mean? It's a hard situation to figure out, but I mean, what other BMX events are happening right now in 2020 besides like tiny little jams put together? It's like, if nobody else can do it, then what makes me think I can do it too? You know what I mean? Like, that's not right. Like, just because I can legally do it doesn't make it right. Like, I just have to, like you said, be responsible and just admit that we can't do the event, and hopefully everything's fine by next year. I mean, Jesus. I mean, as crazy things are, I mean, I don't even know if it'll be going on next year, but we'll figure it out and hope for the best,
You can legally have whiskey and cigarettes for breakfast also, but it doesn't mean it's the best idea.
Exactly.
So you threw an April date out there. Is that kind of on the horizon roughly for next year, assuming that the world cleans itself up?
Yeah, I'm going to be making an announcement within like the next week or two about the next year's date. I still got to kind of talk to everybody and make sure, but we're definitely aiming for spring, that seems to be the best time because there's not really anything else going on in BMX at that time. It's still cold up in the Northeast and just in the North in general. That's like the time of year we always do Swampfest. So I'd like to aim for around April. I'll be making like an official announcement within the next week or two. But yeah, as of right now, I mean, I want to do Swampfest for the next 20 years. At the end of the day, like, I have to play the long game, not the short game. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just scrap together an event and just to make it happen. Like, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right. I want to do it correct, and I want it to be safe, and I want it to, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do it proper, and this is something I want to do for a really long time, and I got to think about that, and but at the end of the day, it's just not right to do it this year, and it is what it is,
You talk about wanting to do it right, and I think everybody in BMX wants to see it grow. And I think we've loved to see it grow, and it's growing to the point where it has to be handled in a certain way. It needs to keep your brain behind it. It needs to be rough around the edges, and it still needs to be Swampfest, but we need as many riders there, and it needs to be a kick-ass time for everybody. And so I see what you're saying as far as we got to do it right. We can't backpedal. You've created something incredible here, and this is kind of a key point where we could continue moving forward and do what we have to do, or we could backpedal and maybe set ourselves 3 years back,
Yeah. And that's the last thing I want to do is, like, somebody show up at Swampfest, get coronavirus. Like, that's just, like, imagine that. Like, that's terrible. Like, that, nobody should ever have to go through that. And it's, at the end of the day, it's just not the right thing to do.
I completely understand. I completely agree. It's unfortunate. I think it's something that a lot of the BMX world was looking forward to. It was kind of nice to have that milestone on the calendar, kind of, we're going to come through this. But with that being said, I thought the same thing about Battle of Hastings when we were canceling things in March, and that's obviously happening, which is great, but a much scaled down version compared to what it normally is. So I think we're all kind of in this together.
Yeah. And I was talking to the guys at the Source this morning, and they're in a different situation because they can they're in a controlled environment with the skate park, and they can control who goes in and out. They can keep it very small. They can have only riders from Europe. They can make, you know what I mean? Like they can do it right. Like I can't, like Swampfest is about breaking the rules. And if I have all these rules where you have to wear a mask and all this stuff, like it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It goes against what the event is, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm stoked that those dudes are doing that. And like they have the power to do that. Like that's sick that they're pushing forward and trying to keep it going, but doing it in the right way. Like I said, doing it the right way and doing it the safe way. And it's like, what if I can't do Swampfest and just be like, all right, 100 people and everybody's got to wear a mask and nobody stand next to you. It would be weird. It wouldn't make sense. Like like imagine somebody trying to grind a swamp rail with a mask on. Like that just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It'd be like, it just doesn't make sense. It's not right. And it's just, like I said, like I wish I could control 3,000 drunk people, but I can't. You know what I mean? There's a point where you can't control that many people, and it's like I want people to show up and be relaxed and just be able to do what they want to do. And yeah, but is what it is. You know, can't do anything about it. I can't go stop coronavirus. You know, like it's just like I said, it is what it is, and it's just not the right thing to do. And everybody's gonna have to tough it out till next year. But that just means that next year will be even better. You know what I mean? Like it'll be like everybody will be waiting for so long to finally be there, and whenever we all finally do get there, it's going to be amazing. You know what I mean? It's going to be so sick. So I just keep trying to focus on that and just, you know, try not to get too bummed out about not doing it. I mean, this has been the biggest stress case of my entire life, trying to figure out what to do, because it's just like nobody has advice because nobody's went through it before. So everybody's just like, yeah, man, I don't know. Like, yeah, like that sucks. And I'm like, cool, thanks for the advice. Nobody knows what to do. Like, so it's just trying to find I just want everybody to be stoked, you know what I mean? Like from being the sponsors or the people coming or all of it. Like I'm not here to make anybody upset. Like I just want to make sure that everybody's equally as stoked, you know? So, but we'll figure it out, you know?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I think you made the right and necessary move. I think you're going to have plenty of people in Instagram comments talking about how they hate you.
Yeah, like I'm stupid. Like I should just do it anyway. It's all fake. Listen, that's fine, but I don't have that strong of a belief in thinking that this thing's fake to where I can get 3,000 people together and roll the dice. Like, so it's and I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared for the backlash. Like that's fine. Like if somebody hates me because I canceled Swampfest because I don't think it's safe, good for you, dude. Like go for it. Like, but I know that the people that really matter and the people that actually give a shit about the world will think that it's the right thing to do. And I think it's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just not meant to be as of right now, you know?
Trust your instinct. You know, you're not an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, unfortunate news. Completely understandable, but unfortunate nonetheless. Is there anything you'd care to add to this tragic announcement?
I mean, we're gonna continue to keep doing Swampfest merch. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna keep making shirts and keep doing that stuff. I got some more Vans shoes that I was gonna sell at the event, so maybe I'll release those online. That'll get people stoked. But other than that, man, I can't. No, it's not. I mean, what else is there to do? Like, I got a new Sabrosa part I'm sitting on. Maybe that'll come out soon. But other than that, I mean, I think everybody's just kind of like sitting around being like, so what do? We just film Instagram videos and that's it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, other than that, that's it. That's it for me.
All right, Trey. Thanks, bud.